the event. My mind has been racing with the thoughts and possibilities of all of the potential matchups for Ilia Topuria. What an amazing fighter he is.
Dude,
good Lord, Demetrius.
How he slept Charles Oliveira was like, fuck, dude. Like, I knew Charles was going to get slept, but I didn't think it was going to be in that fashion. You know, I watched the fight over and over again, and it's like he drew him into that exchange and just got up before he did. Because even before Charles even threw a punch, that two came down the pipe, and then that was it. And then he finished off with that left hook, and it was, yeah, dude, he's fucking good. Like, I think he's a unicorn. Like, I think you're gonna see him 3 or 4 more times, maybe 5 max, and he's gonna disappear. He's like, I'm done, undefeated. He could be a potential Habib. Someone who just leaves the sport. It's like, I'm done. Don't need to prove anything. I won the belt at 45, 55, and shit. Potentially, you know, he could fight at 172.
He could do it all. Ilia Topuria can do anything that he says he's going to do, it seems like. Oliveira was out from the straight right that he landed, right?
Yep.
I know that he landed the straight right, and then the left hook behind it, but Oliveira sank from the straight right hand that landed early in that fight. And I agree with you, Ilia Topuria. I don't see him sticking around for long, so I'm definitely going to be paying attention every single time he fights, because he could have, depending on the names that he gets, he could have about 2 or 3 left, I think, because he's got a very perfectionist way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see him thinking if he gets a few more big names, no one's going to top this. You know, I mean, if he beats a really good lightweight next, like the next top lightweight contender coming up, if they do a title elimination bout, and then he gets a matchup against maybe an Islam Makhachev, and then he tries the 170 move, I really think we could see 3 fights left for Ilia, because, I mean, sticking around would only mean lowering his competition to stay active in a way.
I mean, when you look at that fight between Charles versus Ilia, that was my fight of the night, right? Like, for me, I like to see the complete game of like start to finish, meaning like once they started, you saw him pop up that jab, showing the feints, going to the body. And then Charles cracked Ilia with a great right hand at the beginning of it, right? And then, you know, Ilia responded. But how it went from Charles was getting beat on the feet, not really bad, but he wasn't having his way, grabs the body lock, tries to take down Ilia. Ilia is able to reverse it, lands in guard. Then he passes his guard. I remember Ilia Topuria did this when he fought, I think it was Bryce Mitchell or Ryan Hall, instead of, or Josh Emmett, one of those 3, instead of him punching in the guard, he literally passed the guard and started to get the side control and started submission game. He passes Charles's guard, and he starts working for the crucifix. I'm like, okay, this guy is he's working the whole system, right? It's not, oh shit, he falls down, I'm gonna go in your guard and punch me in your guard. It's like, no, posture, pass guard, get the side control, go for crucifix, start your submission game. Then Charles reverses, goes after his legs, going for a heel hook. And then instead of Ilia Topuria trying to punch Charles, he bites the ankles, knees, hips, does everything textbook. Charles Oliveira sweeps him. He comes up. They're at this little, battle right there. And then, Ilia gets up. And I was like, dude, follow it down, because every single time Charles gets hurt when he fights. And what does happen when Charles gets hurt? He goes to his back. He takes a break. He's on the beach, kicking, looking, gets back up to the feet, gets back in the gunfight. The only thing that happened here, he got back in that gunfight, and he ended up getting slept. But that was probably my fight of the night. I know a lot of people like Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval. We'll get to that. I didn't think that was the fight of the night. Modicano versus Benel Darouche. Like, that fight just had one person came and executed, and that's what I love about it. Didn't. One of them didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I love the main event, Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira. I agree. I don't agree. It wasn't my fight of the night, because I really liked Van versus Royval. That one took me back to when this was a combat sport. They were scrapping out, But let's talk more about Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira. I loved it, and I like that you mentioned the grappling sequence from Ilia Topuria and him passing Oliveira's guard. We needed that.
Yeah,
we needed to see that from Ilia right now, because the discussions that we're going to have against the matchups that we're going to discuss him having, like Makhachev and all of this, it was so good to see him not just go out there and strike with Oliveira and get a KO.
Yes.
If he would have done that, I would have been like, okay. Oliveira charged in and struck with Ilia Topuria the whole time. We don't really learn anything new about Ilia. We learn that he's consistently as good as he's shown that he is, but we don't learn any new crinkles to his game. But watching him get double underhooked up against the cage in the clinch. And he looked so uncomfortable in that position for a moment as well, because Oliveira is a lot taller than him. He's got double unders. So Topuria's like up on his toes, up against the cage, being like really, really put into an uncomfortable position early on. It was so good to see that, because when Oliveira went for the throw, Topuria's hips, I said on the live fight companion, I said, oh, his hips. His hips are so good, because in the middle of that throw that Oliveira went for, it was like a 50-50. Who's going to land on top here? A lot of that stuff is who's going to have the better position when they land. And you saw Ilia Topuria in the middle of the throw attempt from Oliveira. His hips, like magnets, they found the canvas, knees facing down towards the canvas. And he just landed strong. He landed strong. He didn't land off on his back where Oliveira can get over the top of him or do anything like that, or even land in a position where he's going to take time to scramble out. He landed knees straight to the canvas. His hips swiveled midair, facing the ground. He landed strong. He got on top. He passed over the guard into side control. He had Oliveira in a crucifix as well. He was going for a crucifix on Charles Oliveira. This is it. This is what we're discussing right now. Round one, he hasn't dropped Oliveira yet. You know, I know people have gone to the ground with Oliveira. You know, Makhachev dropped him bad, hurt him, and then jumped on him on the ground. But this is Charles Oliveira who, you know, he might have got stung a few times, but he's still there. And Ilia's on top of him and going side control, crucifix position. He's actively looking to dominate Oliveira on the ground. Like, even the mental energy to, like, have the confidence to go out there and be like, oh, Oliveira's taking me down. Time to pass his guard. I just spat everywhere. Time to pass his guard. You know, time to get into side control. To even think like that as a fighter shows the level that Ilia Topuria is on, because there are so many fighters that would see Oliveira down there and go, oh, escape that position. Ilia's a striker. He's been knocking people out. He loves striking. Even though he has a grappling background, he loves to strike. Yet he saw a fully conscious Charles Oliveira on the ground and went, right, time to put him in my crucifix that I like to get people in. It was like a routine for him. Oliveira goes for the leg. They take a breather. It was a crazy pace to start the fight. I liked that they took a little bit of a breather. I don't mind it. Let him lay on his back for a bit. When they get back up, they're going to be throwing heat again. My thing about this fight, though, was we talked about the grappling. Ilia's jab, while being shorter, while having way less reach, he found it immediately in this fight. And my prediction was a first-round brutal KO for Ilia Topuria. That was my prediction for the fight. I think a lot of people predicted the same. And Oliveira's walking forwards towards Ilia, and Ilia's found the jab. And I said this in my reaction video to the fight. I said, when a striker finds the jab on you, it's basically him saying, there you are. I got you. I see you. I know you're right there. I know I can get you. And see him land that jab. He went to the body with it. He went to the head with it. And he kept going to the head, jabbing Oliveira's face. And Oliveira then just sort of went in on him. And I'm thinking, dude, Ilia's found his jab on you in round one, a minute into the fight. The right hands are coming. The big shots are coming real soon. If he knows where you're at, and he's found his distance already, the big shots are coming. And to watch Oliveira crash in like that with the right hand and get cracked, I've never been so shocked by something so obviously about to happen. You know? That was the weird part about this fight. I predicted it. I knew it was going to happen, but still, it was just so surreal watching Oliveira crumple towards the canvas in a pay-per-view main event. It feels weird even saying it now, but Ilia's the man.
Well, I think seeing his eyes go, I mean, just the technology we have nowadays of camera angles, and to see the body absorb that energy, and then to see him going down, and he's still there, and it's almost like his body is just, and then get hit again, and then the follow-up shot behind that. And here's the thing too. It's like right when Charles threw him and Ilia landed on top, it was like, well, fuck. And like you said, he had that mentality to pass his guard and start that grappling exchange with him. It's not like when Charles got back to his feet, he goes, well, the takedown didn't really work, so I'm stuck in this realm striking with him, right? Like he didn't, go, fuck it, one underneath and do a double leg or run the pipe. It was like, I lost that exchange. The first
I guess I'm going to have to strike, you know?
Exactly. And like you said, I love what you said. When Dustin had him on his back, Justin Gaethje had him on his back, Michael Chandler had him on his back. The only person who ever followed and engaged in that grappling realm was Ilia Topuria and Islam Makhachev. And that's where I told you, I was like, guys, Charles gets hurt every single time he fights. And yes, he does get back into the battle of fighting people. He gets another chance to shoot out with them. But I know Ilia Topuria is going to he's not scared to grapple with him, right? And I just think it shows if Ilia Topuria fights Justin Gaethje, what is Justin going to do? What is it's going to be another striking battle where Ilia Topuria is going to find that jab like he does. He's going to eat those leg kicks, and then he's going to start finding that right hand and put a combination together, and then sleep Justin Gaethje, because Max Holloway slept Justin Gaethje. And then, we start doing mixed martial arts math. Ilia Topuria put Max to sleep. Max puts Justin Gaethje to sleep. The math is, the writing's on the wall. Ilia Topuria is going to put him to sleep too. I mean,
it's likely that that's going to happen now. It is likely. I think if they gave Gaethje to Topuria right now, it would end in a brutal first round KO.